What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today we're gonna be reacting to a video from Night Talk titled "Kanye Just Got Canceled." If y'all don't know what's going on, ever since his remarks in the media that everybody took out of context about Jewish people, and then him telling people in interviews like, "I'm not about to listen to you, somebody who's broker than me," the corporations that Kanye was talking about, because he straight up said if stuff start happening to me, y'all know why, they start cutting ties with this man, taking him down. Now, I will say, I don't know if he's going to talk about this, but Kanye literally said in an interview, "I'm worth $11 billion. Remember that figure, because what came out was that, him losing all these deals and everything makes him lose 1.5 million. And then Forbes came out of nowhere, where anybody, like, Forbes numbers are never correct. I'm just letting y'all know right now. That's not me saying that because I'm a Kanye fan or anything, and that's legit. Forbes numbers are never correct. With having that figure, right, they were like, he was worth 1.2, lost 1.5, now he's worth 400. You don't have to have a high degree in math to know that the math is not mathing on that at all. At all. That don't even make sense. So he's been canceled. People think he's not a billionaire anymore. I think he's still a billionaire. But let's see what, I think his name is Stevie. Let's see what he got to say about the situation.
Hey, $1.5 billion.
Yeah. So I don't know where this is from, but they said his net worth dropped from $2 billion to $400 million after Adidas ended their Yeezy deal. Which, once again, Kanye himself said he was worth 11. So I don't know where the $2 billion came from, because other media outlets also said that he was only worth $1.2 billion. So it seems like everybody in the media got differing numbers, whereas Kanye been saying all these past interviews he worth 11. So it ain't my money. I'm going to have to believe the person that has the money. I'm not going to believe the people writing about the money, because they don't have it either. So just letting y'all know, that's where I got my $11 billion figure from. I got it from Kanye. He's the one talking about his money.
Dollars, bro. That's bruh. That's crazy. Crazy ain't the word, bruh. That's unbelievable. If this is true, said Adidas cut their deal with Kanye after his anti-Semite remarks. I don't know if it's from the tweet or from just his interviews he's been doing, right?
I think it's from the interviews. He's been saying a lot in his interviews. So I think all the corporations are just like, nah, we not messing with him, but that's fine. Kanye wanted to be independent anyways. So I don't know if this was like the grand plan to get out of that, but he out of them now. It sucks because Adidas is keeping his designs. So he doesn't, I guess he don't own the intellectual property of his designs, which is crazy. How crazy is that? But they said they were going to keep it and keep pushing out the models and stuff, but they don't know if they're going to keep the name Yeezy attached to it. So imagine some Yeezys dropping, but they not Yeezys. Adidas is going to call it something else, like they've been doing recently. They done already stole models, and they've been creating their own slides and shoes off the models that he created. It just looked like bootleg versions of his shoes, for real. So I don't know how that's going to work out for them in the long run, but Yeezys as a whole, now, if you are a reseller, right? Because recently, like, Adidas just been pumping them out before any of this even happened, to where there was no resale value in any of them shoes. It was tanking. Now, with this being said, this is like when he left Nike. Value on all his shoes are about to skyrocket. I promise y'all they will. If you a reseller or you just have some for your personal collection, hold them. Hold all of them. I'm telling you, it's gonna go up.
Kanye West's net worth has reportedly plummeted from $2 billion to $400 million following the end of his partnership with Adidas. According to Forbes magazine, Ye is no longer a billionaire. They was quick to put that shit out, wasn't they? After Adidas terminated their contract with the rapper and entrepreneur today over his anti-Semitic comments. The deal was said to have value of 1.5 billion. But now that partnership is ended, Ye is a 400 millionaire. That means Kim and Kylie on him now. Bruh.
I don't believe it. Like I said, Kanye out his own mouth said he was worth 11 before any of this happened. So I believe he's still a billionaire. I believe he's going to figure out the infrastructure on his own so he can start producing on his own, because he's always wanted that to be his plan anyways. So he's going to be just fine. I think he's still a billionaire. And Adidas themselves already said they're about to be in the red for like 250 million because of this. So this is, I think this affects their third quarter. It's going to affect their third or fourth quarter, but they're going to be 250 mil in the red because of it. And once the news was announced, their stocks did drop. So it just is what it is.
That's crazy. I was sitting here asking last time we was doing the interview. I was like, can you cancel Kanye? I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a 400 millionaire with whatever he got going on. You really can't cancel $400 million, bro. But to wipe out 75% of his net worth over the comments he made, that's crazy. That's scary. Big picture to me, that's scary, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You're not canceling Kanye. I promise you. They want us to think they like, oh yeah, we could just wipe out this much of your money and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. And
I was trying to go back and specifically identify what exactly was said that's pissing everybody off, because he lost his contract with Def Jam or some shit like that, right? Let me see. Let's see all the Kanye got canceled with today.
Oh yeah, so the Good Music partnership is no longer a part of Def Jam. But then Def Jam, that's funny because that's the headline, but Def Jam also said like, oh yeah, so the contract ended a year ago. It's like, so if the contract ended a year ago, and it doesn't sound like y'all re-upped on anything, how is you all of a sudden no longer a part of that if it ended a year ago? See, that's the part, because nobody reads, they just see the headlines. That's what didn't make sense to me. I'm like, okay, well, if y'all contract ended a year ago and y'all never re-upped on it, he was never a part of y'all.
Yeah, it's from Vibe magazine. Kanye West's Good Music reportedly no longer a part of Def Jam, following a string of anti-Semitic comments made. Kanye has been exiled from a plethora of business deals and partnerships. According to the New York Times, his most recent alleged dismissal is from his longtime label Home. A close source to Def Jam has shared that Ye's imprint, Good Music, is no longer affiliated with the label giant. Ye's contract has reportedly expired following 2021's Donda, although it has been confirmed he was going to continue his partnership with Def Jam before his most recent controversy.
So like I just said, so I guess Good Music is off, but like, I remember Good Music like a while ago anyways, they had worked it out where everybody got their masters and they moved off of that. So I don't even think they was really working with Def Jam like that to begin with based off of that. And then to sit here and say his own personal contract expired after Donda, that's a year ago. And it's like, yeah, it hasn't been confirmed if he's going to continue with it. It's like, it's been a year. It sounds like he wasn't. So I feel like, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is what a lot of companies do. Once one company hops on, like if somebody says something and the company's like, oh no, we can't work with you no more because of XYZ. I feel like a lot of other companies virtue signal and they just hop on the bandwagon to just go with the flow. Because it's like, what was the point if he already wasn't even rocking with you? Like if that contract was already done, why are you now tossing your name into the hat? Y'all been done. That's what don't make sense to me.
That Defcon 3 got his canceled like a man. I don't really think that's going to his pockets, though, because Kanye's big enough to, he don't need a label anymore. But that's crazy. Like, that's his home for a long time, and they got rid of his too. What else? He lost the contract with Gap. Gap released his too.
To be fair, that Gap contract was stupid from the beginning. I was like, 10 years with the Gap? Who shop at the Gap? That didn't make sense to begin with. So he was happy when they X'd that out, because he said that in them interviews before any of this happened. He was like, I'm glad I don't have a contract with them no more.
This from NBC News. Gap says it will dump products designed by Kanye West starting immediately. Bro, it's low key. It feels like they was just waiting on the. It feel like they was just salivating, just waiting on the opportunity to just let this man go and fire at his. You know.
Yeah, because Kanye himself said the whole Gap thing. He said they ruined the product launch for his product. So remember when went live, when they kind of just had his stuff in what looked like a trash can just in the middle of the store, and everybody was like, why the employees set it up like this? And then the employees came out, they was like, that's how corporate told us to set it up. So if you really wanted the clothes, you had to dig through this trash can looking thing to find your size and anything. And then on top of that, before any of this even happened, because people weren't buying it because the setup was stupid, they ended up throwing a lot of that stuff in the trash. Because I remember a lot of, it went viral. Some hype beasts put it out there. They was like, hey, they threw all this stuff in the trash at the such and such store over on such and such. People flocked it. They flocked, and it was like just getting free Gap Yeezy clothes. So the Gap been done with him. So that's another company throwing their name into the bucket just to be doing it, because they was already done.
You know what I'm saying? Off rip, bro. Because it's all coming like back to back to back to back to back all the same day. Because when did that tweet come out? The DEFCON 3 tweet came out like days ago.
A while ago.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe all the attention, I'm assuming like all the shit that's been going on with these interviews have like magnified that tweet. The whole world has been seeing it, man. And you know what I'm saying? The tweet, I mean, freedom of speech, right? You can say what you want, but you still got to be held accountable, dog. And I did a live reaction to the interview during that part, man. I ain't even know what, bruh, real shit, keep it a buck with y'all. I ain't even know what anti-Semite meant until Kanye brought all this shit up. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out,
really?
Anti-Semite just means like anti-Jew. You know what I'm saying?
Anti-Semitic.
Which, bruh, like, I don't want to get canceled though. I don't want to get canceled, bruh, but anti-Semite, that's what everybody's attacking him for, right? Because the anti-Semite, bruh, you don't f with the Jews, dog, because now you f with the Jews, bruh, you got canceled. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said this shit about George Floyd. It wasn't this much heat. I don't see no whatever the word is for black folk, anti-black struggle. You know what I'm saying? This anti-Semite, dog. Y'all kind of proving his point.
I mean, they really are. And before anybody come for me, it's like, bro, I'm Jewish at the end of the day. Yeah, I practice Christianity now. I grew up Jewish. Half of my family Jewish. So, like, you can't... It's like I'm with Ben Shapiro and Ethan Klein. I can say what I want. You can't do nothing. No, but for real though, like everybody proving his point. Because let's be real, slavery was a choice. Y'all got mad, but he wasn't canceled. Wasn't no brand deals got off of him. He wore the MAGA hat. Y'all got mad. No brands pulled up out of it, right? George Bush doesn't care about black people. We gonna take it back. Y'all got mad. Right? Nobody pulled out of it. Taking the mic from Taylor Swift and saying Beyonce should have won. Y'all got mad, but nobody cut ties with him. Nobody. Right? We can sit here as a community and we can rap about drugs and effing different types of women and pee popping on a handstand. We could do all this stuff that's negative, right? We could talk about all this stuff that's negative to make these hits. You know, we can sit here and not be outraged when these rappers have like 50 baby mamas and like 10 broken homes, right? Nobody cares about any of that. He made that one comment. That was the comment that just ended everything for Kanye. Wild. Completely wild.
You know what I'm saying? From the optics, hey, I have no dog in the fight. I don't have nothing against Jews, bro. I'm just, look, I heard what Kanye said. He said what he said, and I disagree with his reasoning for saying what he said. It was like an eye for an eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, since black folk have struggled so much and have been, discriminated against pretty much, that gives me right to discriminate now and say this shit about Jews with a whole, like, go DEFCON 3 on Jews, which is like, but DEFCON 3 is when the military is preparing or just being on being on standby, ready to go to war like a minute's notice. So it's like, he's essentially telling the world to be prepared to go to war on Jews, which is fucked up. Like, from the optics outside, that's crazy. Like, if anybody said that shit about another race, it's gonna look odd too. It's gonna look crazy too, man. But to see that this is literally canceling Kanye.
It is gonna look crazy. It's a crazy tweet. At the end of the day, it's a crazy tweet. But let's be honest. If that would have been like, I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on all blacks, none of these people would be pulling brand deals off of them. I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on all the Asians or whatever. And brand deals wouldn't have pulled off of them. Maybe some Asian ones if they was working with them. But y'all see, I'm telling you, they're proving his point. He said it. He said it in that Drink Champs interview. He was like, everything I'm saying in this interview, if things start happening to me after the fact, you know why. And he went on to detail why. We all are watching it actively play out.
He is literally being canceled. That's big picture to me, dog. From some words, it's one thing. You should have the freedom to say what the you want, right? I'm all for freedom of speech, but
I am too, my man, but you are cussing so much, and I'm gonna have to edit out so many cuss words in this video. I love your content. I love your content. That's why I'm reacting to it. I can't have cursing on my channel anymore. Every other curse word. It takes so long to edit these videos.
If Taylor Swift said, let's go DEFCON 3 on all Christians or something, right? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then he doubled down to what the fuck he said too. He doubled down on what the fuck he said, dog. Bro, that's rough. That's rough. He's being canceled. The companies do not want to have anything to do with a man that's going out saying something like that. You know what I mean? But he's proving their point. Hey, you do not. Hey, the Jews run everything. You do not with the Jews, dog. That's pretty much what he was saying, right? But then I'm pulling it back and applying it to real life, right? So like if you're just a regular Samaritan out here, you working for a company and you write some like you go on Twitter and say some like we're gonna go DEFCON 3 on women, your company find out, they probably gonna let you go too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they don't want to have any affiliation to some like that. Right? Depending upon.
That is true. I just saw a random TikTok earlier where a dude said he just lost his job earlier today because his company found his TikTok account and was like, "Oh, we do not like the things you be saying on there. You're not representing us properly." And it's like, you found my TikTok account? You nosy? Okay. But it is true. Companies are on it nowadays. That's why when I worked, I tell you, all of my stuff was private. And I learned that lesson very early on in my adult life working for other people, right? So coming up, when I was a teenager, there really was not social media, so you didn't have to worry about none of that. Social media didn't come around till I had graduated high school. That's when social media first came around. So then first couple of jobs you have, and you start finding out. I heard from my mom's friend who had worked in HR. She was just like, "Oh yeah, we're allowed to, like, people that apply to companies, we allowed to skip trace them and find them through their social media and see how they be talking and how they acting, and we can use that to determine if we're gonna hire them or not." And I was like, "Huh? Excuse me? What did you just say?" And then my mom was a skip tracer too at the time, and she told me the same thing. And she was like, "Yeah, we be doing that to find people and blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh nah." So when I was working, my stuff was very private, like super duper private. You wasn't about to mess me out of my money just because I want to put up pictures of me kicking it with my friends and we saying crazy stuff back and forth to each other. No.
What your job is, right? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Kanye West is Kanye West. He's like he's a mogul at this point, saying some shit like that. So yeah, like that. Yeah. I mean, like I'm freedom of speech. You can say what the fuck you want, but you're gonna be held accountable if you out here saying some crazy shit, man. And going DEFCON 3 on all Jewish people sounds crazy. And then going back, like remembering what was said during that Pierce Morgan interview, he doubled down. Like he doubled down on it.
You don't hold accountability to my pain. You're being a Karen.
I'm talking about. I'm not a Karen.
To the pain.
I'm not a Karen, and I'm not going to cancel you, and I'm not going to uncensor you. I'm simply going to challenge you on what you're saying.
You can't.
I think you don't understand the pain that you've been causing with some of these comments, and I think that one in particular, I can understand.
Oh my God! God forbid one comment could cause people to feel any of the pain that my people have went through for years. Even
See, I see he doubled down on it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember Piers Morgan actually apologized. He said, "No, I'm not apologizing." But then he said some shit about at the end. He said, "I do apologize if they got twisted or."
Jewish people. Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not. You know, I will say I'm sorry for the people that are hurt with the DEF CON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I cause hurt and confusion.
See, so yeah, he did apologize there, man. So
Yeah, but the media didn't run that. They didn't run that part of the interview at all. You know what part of the interviews they kept running that I kept seeing? When Kanye basically called Piers Morgan broke and that he wasn't going to listen to somebody broker than him, and the whole la, 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 that means I'm talking and you need to be quiet. That's what the media kept sharing. They never shared that part, right? And it's a long interview too. I think it was like an hour and a half long or something, or 2 hours. It was, all his interviews have been long lately. Do you think the average person's going to sit down and they see that one clip and be like, oh, let me go watch the interview, and then they see the time length and be like, ooh, I don't think I want to sit down and watch an hour and a half. They'll watch a Netflix series because that actually interests them. They're not going to sit there. They're just going to take whatever the media is telling them.
yeah, I just want to clarify my stance on this. I'm all for freedom of speech, and I'm also for like the way I live my life. I'm like, if some people like that was said to me to discriminate against me, like, it's all about how I respond to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let some that somebody say affect me, right? But this is a different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Because of who Kanye is and what he represents, and the influence he has, and the business dealings he with. Like, everybody don't see the world the way I see the world, right? And then big picture, like, if I put myself in Jewish people's shoes and saw somebody say we're gonna go DEFCON 3 on all black people, and it's somebody the likes of Kanye, I'm like, what the what's wrong with Buddy? So all the shit that's happening to him with that doesn't really surprise me now, after like diving deeper into what was actually going on. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can't just go out here saying what the you want to say and not be held accountable, dog. Like, you know, that came from a place of hate. It didn't come from a good place. It came from an eye for an eye type. And
I mean, it was a wild tweet at the end of the day, but he also said it because, like, he also believes he's a Jew because he believes he's one of the original tribes of Israel, so he thinks he's a black Israelite and whatnot. And from how I read it in the Bible, if you're not going to do your own genealogy to figure that out, I guess we're never going to know. Like, I think Jesus is supposed to tell us after we die. If I'm understanding what I read correctly, we're going to know what tribe we come from at that point. For all the believers out there, right? But I've also read people that said you can figure out your genealogy if you really look into it. It's long and complicated. It really is. Like, it is long and complicated. But there have been a few people that have figured out which tribe they belong to, and that's just based on getting all the facts and figuring all that out. Because I actually, like I told y'all, I'm Jewish, so because I actually have family that's straight from Israel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could probably trace mine. So I could probably figure out which tribe I'm actually from. So, you know, that's something I do plan on looking into. I researched it. That's why I'm telling y'all all this. I did research it. So once I figure all that out, that's probably going to be a video at some point. But that's also going to take a lot of freaking time to figure out. Like, a lot. Especially considering, like, the Jewish side of my family, of what I know, it ain't much of us left. It's literally me and my two cousins. That's all I know of so far. And that's because at some point, the family, this is before any of us was born, but like, they got into a feud at some point and they all just split off. So I don't know where the other all I kept being told when I was a kid is that the half that my dad and his brother didn't associate with coming up, that half is rich. Speaking of Jews with money, but they said he said his one cousin was like it's a term. They called her like a royal princess or something from over there. Now, in terms of like what we think a princess is, because you know we be thinking of like the king and queen of England and all that. I don't know if it's like that. I have no idea. I have to look into all of that. So I just know they came from money. That's all I know. And I was just like, wow. So grandma just left all of that, huh? That's crazy. So I gotta actually look into that. But do I think Kanye is canceled? No. I think this is all a big show where everybody's just like, see, we're not gonna work with him. See. They do this every time he says something. This might be the biggest sign of a blowback in the media. I guarantee you he's still a billionaire. I guarantee you he's gonna pop out doing stuff independently on his own in terms of sneakers and clothing, and he gonna be right back to doing it because hype beast, sneakerheads, they gonna be like, oh, Kanye's now doing this type of stuff on his own. I'm just gonna get it from him. I'm telling you that's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you. You can't cancel this man. If that was the case, he would have been canceled like 6 cancellations ago. Y'all can't cancel him. Y'all can't figure it out. So because it's not gonna happen. Cancel culture is not real. You know what cancel culture is real for? People that aren't big enough to save themselves. For example, Daniel Caesar. He canceled himself right up out of here because as he was trying to get off the ground, my man was like, oh, y'all can't touch me. And everybody was like, yeah, we can. And boop, he was canceled. You got to have like no clout to get canceled pretty much. Like you have to have no backing, no nothing. That's when you canceled. He's too high up. Y'all not canceling him, but y'all want to see me react to more videos just like this one, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss when I drop a video. If I have to miss a day, the only way I can update you is through my actual social media because I don't have that option on YouTube yet. So if you're not following me over there, go ahead and give me a follow. That's also in the description box down below. And until next time, you already know who it is. It's Sang.